I am here with my favorite oldest son.
Hello. I'm
This is BJ, and it has been almost 10 years, not quite, just short of 10 years, that BJ has worked in the cell phone selling industry.
Yep.
And he's got 10 ways that you can save money on your cell phone bill, and he's the man. One way to save money on your cell phone is to buy your accessories online. Why?
Yeah, if you buy your accessories in the store, you're paying way too much for them. A lot of accessories in cell phone stores are way overpriced, and you can get them for a lot cheaper on Amazon, for example. Like screen protectors, you shouldn't be spending $50 for a screen protector. You can get one for $10 and it'll work just fine for you. But
especially when your mom goes through one once a week.
Yep. Definitely get your accessories online, because you're going to spend almost as much as the cost of the phone on accessories in a cell phone store.
So what accessories can you get? You can get a charger, your screen protector.
So the most common ones that people buy now, because all these cell phone manufacturers keep wanting to change their chargers, is chargers, charge cords, cases, screen protectors. And most people will spend about $200 on those 4 items in store, when you can get them for about $30 or $40 online, or maybe $50 if you get really high quality stuff.
Okay. Now, another way to save money on cell phone service is to not use your main carrier.
Well, so what I mean by that is don't use one of the main cell phone carriers like Verizon or AT&T or T-Mobile. If you have a huge plan with like 20 lines on it, or like 5 or more lines, it's worth it. But if you're just an individual person, or if you have 2 or 3 lines on your account, you should really look into going with someone like Visible or Mint Sim, Boost Mobile. Something like that would probably be a lot cheaper, and the service would be roughly the same in terms of what you would be expecting.
Okay, so is Mint a good company? Because you see that advertised a lot.
Yeah, it didn't work particularly well in my situation, but it just depends on your coverage area. They use T-Mobile, so if T-Mobile does well in your area, then Mint would be a good option.
Okay, so it might be worth trying it, and if it works, fine, and if it doesn't, switch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a no contract, so you can switch out of it whenever you feel like it.
Okay. The next one is don't buy your phone until there's buy one, get one free, or a promotion or something like that. So what kind of promotions do they have?
So if you are on one of the main carriers like Verizon, T-Mobile, or AT&T, oftentimes they'll have a promotion where you can trade in your old device and get a new device for free, which is a good deal for sure, but there are a lot of catches sometimes, so you got to look out for that. For example, some of them will require that you have their highest, most expensive end planned. So even though you're getting a phone for free, you're spending $40 more per month when you could have just spent $23 more per month on the phone. Or just bought it outright. So don't be fooled by that. But a lot of cell phone companies do offer loyalty promotions where they'll just give you a free phone. It's never really free, but they say free phone.
So do the math. So when you're sitting there selling a phone to someone, do people sit and do the math as they're to figure it out?
No, I see people come in all the time where it's just them on their account, or it's like them and their spouse, and they're paying $300 a month on cell phones. Yeah.
I don't even think we pay that much for 5 of us.
No, you pay like probably $200.
Oh my goodness. And ours is business stuff, because we have special something whippy so we can run the business.
Yeah. You got all the highest end plans. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. People they'll just finance phones until...
So how would they run the math then? So they would run the math to see how much a phone would cost over the whole time of their contract versus how much their plan is over the whole contract, and check between each one to see how much the end number is in total.
I think people should be looking at how much is the total cost of everything together versus if you went with a cheaper plan like with Visible. Because say, for example, if you go on Verizon and you get a free phone, but you're spending $90 per month on this free phone that you have to finance for 3 years. $90 a month over 3 years is significantly higher than the phone's worth at $900. And it's a good deal if you're on Verizon and you refuse to switch from Verizon or your main carrier. But when you look at Visible, for example, they only charge $25 per month. So you're saving more than $60 a month, even though you have to pay for the phone outright, you're saving $60 a month and you'll pay for that phone within the year.
Okay. This video is brought to you by our Dining on a Dime cookbook. We have quick and easy recipes your family will love to help you get in and out of the kitchen fast. Please visit us at livingonadime.com. It's 25% off now. Another way to save money on your cell phone bill is to start with basic and add on later. What did you mean by that? You don't remember what you
I don't remember what I...
So I think you meant start with the basic plan and then work your way up to the plans.
Oh, yeah.
If you need more coverage or whatever.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess with that one, whenever you sign up for a cell phone carrier, this mostly applies to the main ones, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon, but start off with the entry-level plan. And if it doesn't work well for you, then bump up to the next one. And if that doesn't work if that doesn't work well for you, then bump up to the next higher one. And the reason I say that is because a lot of the carriers, when you're signing up for their cell phone service, they'll try to put you on the top tier plan just right out of the gate. But most people, I would say 99% of people out there don't need 100 gigs of priority data. That's for if you're really heavily using the internet on your phone, which most people don't. I mean, you do. But the average person watching this video, I'd say 99 out of 100 of them don't use that much data.
Most people aren't running a YouTube channel for their business, so no, yeah.
Yeah. Or hotspot, these plans will include 100 gigs of hotspot, and very few people use hotspot.
Yeah.
Things like that, or sometimes they'll come with, Netflix or Apple One or all of these services that you don't really need. And
okay, so let's go into the subscriptions. Which is the best way to save on your subscriptions?
So if you do have subscriptions that they offer, it would be cheaper to go with them. So say for example with Verizon, they had the Disney Plus bundle going on for a while. And, someone like me, I never watch TV. I never stream anything. I don't subscribe to any of those streaming services. It's totally useless to me. It's just wasted money. Mm-hmm. But if you have Disney Plus, if you use Disney Plus a lot, then it would be worth bundling that in with your package. Because it
can be cheaper to buy it with your package than to buy it separately?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But a lot of people kind of get mixed up with this sort of oh yeah, I'll combine my Disney Plus with you guys, and I'll also add Netflix and HBO Max and Apple One and all this extra stuff that you don't actually need.
Okay.
Maybe you think you need it, but then you don't.
Okay.
So
you don't need, so if you're, first of all, make sure you're actually going to use it.
Yeah, make sure you're actually going to use it. It is cheaper if you do actually use it, but don't let them rope you into subscribing to a lot more stuff.
Okay. And another way to save money on your cell phone bill, insurance. How do you save money on insurance?
So,
because people like me really need to be insured.
Well, so you could go with, if you have an Android phone, you could go with a third-party insurance like SquareTrade is one that I usually recommend. Yeah, no, we're not sponsored by SquareTrade, but there's lots of other options out there. That's just the one offhand that I can think of that's easiest to sign up for. Or if you have an Android phone, just always go with, or Android phone, I meant iPhone. If you have an Android phone, just go with AppleCare. Nothing else compares to AppleCare.
Wait, can you get Apple on an Android phone?
No, on an Apple phone.
No, you just switched it. So
on
an Apple phone.
Oh, yeah.
On an Apple phone.
So on an iPhone, there are other options like SquareTrade as well, but I would just go with AppleCare. AppleCare is by far the best. It's going to be better than any of the carrier insurances, and it's going to be significantly cheaper, almost half as cheap as carrier insurance.
Yeah, that's what we use.
Yeah. Yeah, I got you guys all signed up on AppleCare.
And you got an affiliate commission probably, because that's my boy.
Well, I wish.
Is buying a used phone a good idea? If I see one advertised on Facebook Marketplace, should I buy it?
On Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah.
I would not immediately disqualify it, but I would lean towards buying a new or Apple certified refurbished one or Samsung certified refurbished one.
Where do you find that at?
Apple.com or Samsung's website. The only reason behind that is just because phones nowadays, there's a lot of companies out there that will repair them with cheap parts. So when you go buy one on Amazon, you're going to get one that's imported from India or somewhere, not in the US. And it's just been fixed a couple times. It's been refurbished to the spec that Amazon considers it refurbished, but oh my goodness, you should see some of the phones I get. So It's hard to tell for sure. Used would be good if you're in a really bad situation for sure, but a new phone is probably going to last you a lot longer and be a lot more reliable.
But buying from like straight from Apple, straight from Samsung. What about Amazon?
I would avoid Amazon.
Okay.
If it's brand new from Amazon, that's probably fine. But the refurbished or the what do they call it?
Refurbished, yeah.
Well, they call it something else.
Oh.
It's like refreshed or something.
Oh, Apple refreshed is good, is what you had in your notes.
Apple refurbished is good.
Oh, Apple refurbished is good. Okay.
Amazon refreshed is not.
Oh, okay. So Apple refurbished is good, but Amazon refreshed is not.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so back to the why. So Amazon, the refurbishers on Amazon, they're just third-party people. Like you can go on Amazon and you can just sign up to be a seller and you can start selling refurbished phones tomorrow.
So you don't know who's repairing the phone.
Yeah. So you have no idea who's repairing the phone, and more often than not, you get a foreign one. And the thing with a foreign phone is, yes, it's unlocked. It should theoretically work with any carrier, but only from the country where it's originally from. So I see it all the time where someone will buy a phone on Amazon and then they'll bring it in to activate it, and it's like it can only be activated on Chinese servers or something. And so,
Oh dear.
so you're trying to save money, but ultimately you end up kind of shooting yourself in the foot with that.
Okay. And is it worth repairing your phone?
Yes.
Okay. Now tell them your story about the farmer that brought his phone in the other day. So
Well,
if you have this situation, just so other people can be warned that you aren't trying to rip them off. This is actually a problem.
That may not be the most optimal situation for repairing your phone because that one's just screwed. Wait,
But that's what I'm saying. That's a situation where you wouldn't repair it.
are you talking about with the rototiller or with the battery?
With the guy with the battery.
Oh yeah, this dude came in the other day, and his battery was swollen up real big. So this is his phone, and the back was up like this, and the battery was swollen up like a giant baseball. And anyone who knows anything about lithium batteries knows that there's about to be a giant fireball when that happens.
Yeah.
So we were telling him that he needs to
You didn't even want him to bring it into the store.
No, we were trying to make sure he didn't bring it into the store, and he was just getting upset that we were just trying to sell him a new phone. And his phone was way beyond repair. In that case, it definitely just needed to be replaced. But if
What kind of repairs are worth doing?
Screens, if you break your screen but the rest of your phone seems to work, that's definitely worth fixing on any phone. If your battery's not doing well, like if your battery won't hold a charge or your phone won't turn on, you can replace the battery. That's a pretty cheap one as well. It's like $50 at any repair place.
Mm-hmm.
Except iPhones are a little more, but still still worth repairing, I should say.
Okay. If you drop it into the lake, is it repairable?
I just would get a new phone if you drop it in water.
Okay. So
They can replace components, but the thing with water damage is it causes corrosion. So even though your phone's not turning on right now, if they fix it and then it's suddenly working, another part might fail down the road when it corrodes. And usually that doesn't take very long, like days.
All right, thank you, my favorite oldest Sonny. That is how you save money on your cell phone, Dale. Please visit us at livingonadime.com, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.